Okay, the long story of Atticus by Nepos. 9.2. Antony, Eutychardus, judged an enemy. He ceded from Italy, or receded. The hope there was none of being restored or restitution. Not only were his enemies, who then were very potent and very many, but even those who gave themselves or joined themselves to his adversaries. And in harming him, we got laid in those to harm. And by harming, they were hoping to get some commodity, some advantage or something. In following this course, they persecuted or followed the familiars of Antony, his friends, etc. His wife Fulvia, they were desiring to despoil her from all her rebuses, all her wealth, etc. And they're preparing even to extinguish the children. Okay, what have I done there? Let's move some things around. 3. Atticus, when he was using his familiarity, which means he was a friend, he was an intimate friend of Cicero's. This looks like a cum. Although he was a very good friend of Cicero, he was best friends with Brutus, or he was very friendly to him. Not only did he indulge nothing to these people that would violate Antony, but e contrario, which means contrarily, fleeing from the city, his friends. So he didn't want to do anything to hurt Antony, and even his friends who were running from the persecution. As much as he was able, he texted them. So he sent them text messages. Now he covered them and protected them or something. And he helped them in the rebuses which they were indigerenting. So the things that they needed, he would provide. 4. Vero. But, looks dative to P. Voluminus. He attributed these things he gave to him as much as from a parent. Things, okay, so this is plural. Things which were not able, he couldn't get to when he was proficisking, which means setting out or leaving. So the things which he couldn't get, looks like he gave. Moreover, to Fulvia Ipsae, dative female of Ipsae, when she was distenerenta, usually means being pulled in different directions or something with great litigations and lawsuits, and she was vexed with these actually great terrors. So she was being attacked legally and vexed a lot. He offered a great diligence of duty or working for her or helping her, so that she never stood without Atticus Vademoniums like bail or something like that, or sureties. Looks like he was the sponsor of all her rerums, of all her legal dilemmas. He was there helping her. What have we got? 5. Why, even when she, with a favourable, when fortune was favourable, secundus favourable, she emissit, which means she bought a fundum, which is an estate or a farm, and in the day when she was not, after this calamity, she wasn't able to make the Vesurum, which comes from the change, or I guess she's not able to make a payment or something. He interposed himself, and money without any interest, without any stipulation, he credited it. Thinking maxime, thinking greatly, blah blah blah, to be known. Okay, so a great quest, a great fortune, is to be thought to be remembered, and someone's grateful. And at the same time, making it apparent or appearing that it was not to fortune but to people alone he was friends. So he was friends with the person, not with their wealth. Okay. In the daily dictionary, as usual, verto, the changing and verting, is versorium. There's probably other things. We've also got some version of vero that does it as well. A little short's the best thing. So here's ipsi, The dative is ipse for a female, but also ipsi, which we saw. Back to the plot. So which things, when he was doing them, no one was able to think that he did this for the sake of time, or to wear out time, or just to spending his time. For to no one was coming into the opinion that Anthony would obtain the power of things again. Okay, so it started off up here. There was no hope of him being restored to power. So where are we? 7 or something now. Said sense him, but gradually he, by some of the optimates, some of the leading citizens, he was reprehended, because he seemed leastly to hate bad citizens. He wasn't a very hateful person. He didn't show enough hate towards bad people. He, however, of his own judgment, he rather, what was par to do for himself, he would look out for, so what seemed fitting to him, than what others would praise him for. 10. Suddenly, fortune conversed. There was a fortune changed. As Antony returned into Italy, no one was thinking Atticus was not in great danger, on account of his intimate friendship, of Brutus and Cicero. And so, to the arrival of these imperatorums, plural, the triumvirate, he left from the forum. He left, that's like a job usually from the forum, would be being a lawyer or whatever the hell he was doing. He stopped doing that, fearing prescription, and he was laying hidden at this guy's house, P. Voluminium, to who, as we've pointed out a little before, he had given some help to. Such was the variety of fortune in these times, so that now these, and modo again correlative, now those, so it's saying now these people and now these people are in the summit or the peak of, they're on top, and so now they've changed, and now they could be in danger. He had with him this guy here, Q. Gellius Cantum. He was his equal and was very similar to him, equal in age or something. 3. This also, is an example of the goodness of Atticus, that with him, this guy here, who we had known as a boy in school, to such an extent that to the extremity of his age, his friendship with him grew. There was a little clause here. He'd lived conjointly with this guy to such an extent that the friendship grew in the old age extreme. Means probably when they were dying or something even. I don't know how old they lived. 4. Antony, however, or now Antony, although he was bearing such great hate towards Cicero, so that not only to him, but even to all his friends, he wanted to prescribe them as enemies. Prescription means he wanted to kill them, put them on a list to die. And there were many people encouraging this. Nevertheless, he was mindful of Atticus, or of the duties or the benefits of Atticus, which he had done to him. So when he had found out Ubinem, where he was, he wrote with his own hand, "Don't be afraid, nay timoret," and immediately come to him. He's part of the message after this. Himself, him, and for the sake of him, Canum, this other fellow was with him, eximise, means taken off, so it's taken off from the number of the prescribed. So him and Canum, because of him, the two of them were off the list. And no danger would happen, and this would happen at night. He would send to him some men or something, a bit of a protection group who would help bring him to himself.